Caller, thanks for
I agree
watching.
with that.
This is a new caller.
Okay, yeah, thanks for watching. Go ahead with your question.
Hey, this is Brother Crawford.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
Good.
Good, good. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the debate. I just wanted to point out in James chapter 2, I know you quoted it earlier, you misquoted it, you ripped the verse out of its context, James 2:24. The Mormons also use the same argument to prove justification is by faith and works, just like the Church of Christ. So I want to just address this in context. Starting at verse 18, it says, "But someone would say, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works." And this comports with Ephesians 2:8 and 10, which Tim pointed out.
Okay, well, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Yeah. So your context would start at verse 18. I would encourage.
No. I just pointed that out because that's usually the verses that people quote, just like you did. You started at verse 24. You didn't give the context.
Okay.
So
what would you say about verse 14?
Where is verse 14? Let's see. What does it profit, my brother, if someone says they have faith but does not have works? That's the exact same thing I say.
Well, you didn't quote it all. You stopped there.
No, you quoted 24. You quoted verse 24. Why can't I start at 18?
No, I'm saying when you quoted verse 14, you didn't read the end of it.
No, I wasn't even finished explaining what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. So, well, I'm just saying in context, James 2 is not talking about salvation before God, like justification before God, but rather vindication before God. But I want to jump to 24 because that's the quote you quoted.
Okay.
You said, "You see, then a man is justified by works and not by faith only."
Mm-hmm.
But if you scroll up to verse, to verse 21, it says, "Well, Abraham, our father, not justified by works when he offered Isaac, his son, on the altar?" And then it said, "Do you see that faith was working together, in which exactly what we'll believe, which is the faith only doctrine that produces works?"
When
and it says,
when that take place in the book of Genesis?
That took place in Genesis 22.
Okay. Who was around when that happened? Do you remember?
What do you mean, who was around?
When he offered up his son Isaac.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, are you saying that we're justified? Do you believe that this is talking about justified before men?
I think that has a lot to do with the larger context of James.
I wasn't finished.
And to answer that question, his servants were around. They went up on the mountain.
Oh, when his servants were there when he offered up his son?
No, they went up with the servants, and then he and his son went the rest of the way up to.
Yeah.
Okay, so the servants didn't actually see this right here.
What's your point? Yeah, that's an interesting point you're making. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, you're trying to say that Abraham was going to offer his son up on the altar to be justified before his servants when his servants...
Well, no. That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying it's to be justified before men.
That is the overall context that James is addressing.
That's why I was trying to make.
Not that Abraham was justifying anything before his servants.
So you do your works to be justified before men.
Well, let me explain it, Travis.
No, but that's what James is addressing. Somebody walks in. When you read, I think you should start with the context of James 2, verse 1. He's talking about somebody walking into your church, and how do you know this person is a believer? That's why James says, "You show me your works, I'll show you mine." I can't. Somebody says they believe, okay, but I need to see their faith working.
So, Mr. Crawford, do you?
Hold on, let me
ahead.
an important statement. Though this is what I really wanted to get to. Abraham was justified long before he took Isaac up to the altar. And that's found in Genesis 15:6, which is quoted in Romans chapter 4. It says, Abraham believed God, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Mm-hmm. So Abraham was just, and that's talking about justification, which is the exact argument Paul is making in Romans 4. And then he's seen his faith
Well, before you leave, let me ask you a question with that. Was in Genesis 15:6, that's what you're using, right? Abraham was justified there?
Yeah, Romans 4.
Okay.
Also quoted
was he justified before that or not?
Say it one more time.
Was he justified before Genesis 15:6 or not? You said he was justified there, and I agree, but was he also justified before that?
No, no, I don't believe so. I believe he was justified.
So you have faith without being justified.
I believe he was justified when Scripture say he was justified. Genesis 15:6. Genesis 22 then comes later.
Okay. All right. You know where I'm going with that, don't you?
He was justified.
I didn't have time to go throughout the whole entire verses. That's why I wanted to kind of pinpoint
right.
some.
I understand. And my point was, it seems like you don't actually really know Hebrews 11 was stated before Genesis 15:6, because you actually said that Abraham, you said it by implication. You said Abraham here in Hebrews 11:8, by faith Abraham obeyed, and he wasn't even justified. And you believe we're saved by faith alone,
well,
and you denied that.
You want to say we go off of Scripture? Show me where it says it was accounted to him as righteousness. That's Genesis 15:6. I'm just giving you Scripture.
Okay.
And I'm speculating like you're doing.
Okay, so you can have faith, even though it doesn't directly say it. You know, there's a lot of things implied. All right. Implication by faith.
We can only go by Scripture. We can go on by only what Scripture says. In Genesis 15:6, as it was accounted to him as righteousness.
And he believed.
If you want to say you go off the Bible, you should do the same too, because you spent the entire argument making that point. So.
Okay. This guy's a member of the Baptist Church, and he wants to only use Scripture, and he's part of a church that's not in the Bible.
That's a straw man argument.
Okay, that's a straw man. All right. Do you want to? All right. Thanks.